Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listen to Causeway Street Podcast. Enjoy the show, man. It's always good. Team ambassador, Boston Celtics, Leon Poe, baby. Holla.
All right, another episode of the Causeway Street Podcast. I am Joseph Pavone, Sean Dutra, Joel Pavone. What up? What up? What's going on, fellas? The last one before Christmas. Good. How we feeling? Come a long way.
Cold as hell.
It does feel like the Christmas season out there. That's true. That's true. And you know what? We also got a couple marquee matchups to preview. Sean Dutra's look ahead is making a return. We didn't have to do it last time because he looked ahead like 2 weeks ahead. And you know what? They won every single game, just like you said they should. So that worked out. And then at the end of the episode, we'll wrap things up with our trip around the NBA with Joel's In Case You Missed It. Because we got the Celtics winning streak. Obviously came to an end Saturday night in Detroit against the Pistons. But I think it's fair to say that we've learned a lot about this team throughout that 8-game winning streak, right? I mean, that's exactly what Sean wanted to see between the beginning of December up until Christmas. So we're pretty much at that point here. And you got what you wanted, right, Sean? So you can't be dissatisfied with the Celtics coming with that loss in Detroit because they did get that. You said 6 to 7 game winning streak.
Right.
They gave you an 8-game winning streak.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Jaylen Brown free episode here. So I'm just gonna get that off my chest to start. I'm not gonna talk about Jaylen.
This is your Jaylen Brown disclaimer. Okay.
My Jaylen Brown
All right.
disclaimer.
All right.
So my thoughts still stand the same way they did every time I've talked about Jaylen Brown. But anyways, I enjoyed what the Celtics did.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
What the fuck does that mean? What are you talking about? Anyways, I enjoyed the winning streak. I did. And you know what? One thing that I can say right now definitively, and I will say that I was wrong so far, but Kyrie Irving looks great. Okay? Kyrie Irving, I think is...
What were you wrong about?
What do you think I was wrong about?
His leadership. I remember you yelling, "Be a leader." I need to know that you're a leader.
Yeah,
has he changed your mind?
Yeah,
he would be injured by now. That's what you.
I thought he would be injured right now. B, I didn't think he was a leader, and I think
he only missed one game, right?
Yeah,
but he has started to show that he can lead this team. I think his open criticism of Jaylen Brown has been apparent. I think also you're seeing a big leadership role taken by Marcus Smart on this team as well, which I think is also helping Kyrie to a certain extent. I think Marcus being the guy that's has the long-term deal now and feels more confident, and he's the longest tenured Celtic, right?
That's right. Yep.
Which is crazy.
4 years.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, 4 years.
Basically,
top
he's
10
a high school senior.
Hey, top 10 greatest 3-point shooting Celtics player in franchise history. Come on, man.
Danny Ainge
Absolutely
shaking his head somewhere.
Ridiculous to say that. Anyways,
4 years.
I think
4 years. All he needed.
So, a couple points here. Kyrie Irving, I've been very impressed with. I was not impressed during the time that they were floundering like a fish out of water during the first 20 games of the season.
Yep, 10-10.
I think Kyrie Irving needed to step up and be that guy. And did he turn into that guy? Maybe. I think it's still out to be decided, but I think he's going on that path.
Right, he's on the right path. Yeah.
Great, which is great to see. I also think that Marcus Smart sort of snapped out of his funk too. Like he went through a lot in the offseason, got his new contract, had a lot to deal with his mom passing away. You're not going to be right after that right away, right? And I think now you're seeing him sort of. There's been a couple of Marcus Smart games. You know what I mean? There's been a couple of Marcus Smart quarters where he's taken over the quarter and really made those winning plays that we've been looking for, and that's the type of Marcus Smart we want to see. So between those two guys, I think, and also Marcus Morris, of course, and you could talk about the scoring and Hayward playing better and Tatum being more confident. I think a lot of things are starting to click for the Celtics. I am a little bit concerned still, though. A little bit concerned.
About the team overall?
About the team overall. Just because the 8-game winning streak, I believe, happened with only
Below 500 teams.
Below 500 teams.
Yep.
And the biggest thing we talked about, other than my Kyrie hate and Jaylen Brown hate and all that stuff, was that Brad was having trouble carving out roles for this team. The team wasn't 100% healthy during that entire stretch, which
made things a little easier for him.
It makes it a little easier to figure out the lineup. When everyone's back healthy, you're playing better teams. This is going to be the same Celtics team we see.
Well, ironically enough, for those that say, yeah, but they didn't beat anybody important during this streak, right? The 3 teams that are ahead of them in the standings, they've beat them at full strength. Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and who am I missing? Toronto.
I'm already going to break my cardinal rule of this episode. They beat Milwaukee without Jaylen Brown.
All right.
3 minutes that lasted. 3 minutes.
Yeah, 5-0 without Jaylen Brown. Anyways, go ahead.
Toronto is also 7-2 without Kawhi Leonard. So
That's an interesting point because obviously that was before we saw this stretch. This was like well before the 8-game winning streak, well before the 10-10 record, right?
way before the change in the starting lineup.
Right. Like all those wins from those first 10 wins out of the first 20 games of the season, the 3 best teams in the East right now caught an L from the Celtics.
Yeah,
That's
dominant
true.
wins, especially
Dominant
obviously,
wins, that's true.
The first game of the season. Obviously.
No, I still do think that, not to look ahead to looking ahead, but the Christmas Day matchup is going to be a big matchup, and that Bucks matchup is going to be a big matchup. I mean, they've been able to. So the way that they've beaten up on bad teams should build this team's confidence, but they still need to prove it to me against the Bucks in December, against the Sixers in December.
How about the Suns?
And the Suns in December.
Yes.
You know,
that was a tough one the last time, even though they won the game.
yeah. I heard Dylan Brooks is on that team now, or
Marshawn Brooks.
well, we'll wait till in
Marshawn.
case you miss it. We'll wait till in case you miss it.
You can clear that up for us when we go into in case you missed it. Which Brooks
That's what I'm
do
here
they
for.
have?
That's what I'm here for.
All right, well, Joel, let me ask you this. What impressed you the most throughout that winning streak?
Austin
From
Rivers is
the
not on the
Celtics?
Suns, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you could have saved that for in case you missed it, man. I mean,
I'm sorry, just a little.
I
just
didn't miss
little,
that.
Just
I
a little
saw
foreshadowing.
Is Trevor Reeves still in the NBA, or what about Shane Larkin?
But Shane Larkin, no, not in the NBA. That I can say.
That's a great point. What? Oh, he's on the contract. That's why I was going to say. Why they need a point guard so badly? Why don't you call up Shane Larkin? But no, he's on the
Shane
contract
Larkin would be
out
the
in Europe.
starting point
He's
guard
out
of the
in
Suns right now,
Istanbul.
and would probably average about 15 to 16 points a game.
Oh, double guy. Well, probably like 8 assists. Yeah, 15 and 8.
What we should have done was have like Tim come on and with his own like segment of like give us what's your take on the Suns so
Ooh,
far.
we gotta do that
They
soon.
did that to start last year.
Yeah, we
That
gotta
was
do
great.
that soon.
They fired their coach like 3 games into the season.
Yeah.
And now let's see how he feels about it now.
He's due.
He's due.
That's when teams were beating them by an average of 140 points a night.
He's like, Eric Bledsoe, you know what? Get the fuck out of here.
we gotta find that audio.
No,
But no,
I think it was 70 points a night. They were losing like 70 points a night.
Sorry, to answer your question.
Yeah, back to my question.
The most impressive thing during this
Yeah, something that you didn't see in the beginning and surprised you from the Celtics.
I'm gonna say Marcus Smart, not because
Damn right.
I didn't see him becoming the player that he is now, but I think because he's finally coming into his own in terms of his role in his team. Everyone knows he's a defensive guy, right? That's his specialty, but he's like now with being inserted into the starting lineup, he's figuring out when I have to score and when I don't have to score, or when I don't have to chuck up shots, or when I can just go in or just feed my teammates. He's turned into that a little bit more than I've seen during his 4-year tenure here in Boston. But also that Brad is trusting him more to run the offense because I think Kyrie, we saw a lot of that obviously in Cleveland. He's not better off the ball, but he can do things and take advantage of certain situations off the ball than being the primary ball handler. So Smart has taken that responsibility to set up his teammates. He's that extra pass. I like that.
I think it's
offensively.
I think it's the way the team is built, though, that's really helping Marcus Smart.
Well, yeah, that too. But the fact that he's trusting his teammates more, especially Morris. Last year it was easy to say that Morris didn't throw up a shot that he didn't like. But this year he's stroking it with confidence and he's shooting at a high clip. Obviously, him looking for a new contract probably plays a part in that as well. But I think he's someone that's also fitting into his role nicely, who was probably thinking he was going to be the odd man out at some point because of all the new additions. Well, because Kyrie coming back and Hayward coming back.
All the new healthy guys, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of touched upon that last week, that he's the only one, I think, that is just doing everything he's being asked to do without any question.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that backcourt, I feel like we overlooked how well they play with each other. I just think the way they play off each other. I mean, clearly Kyrie Irving, when he co-signed this starting 5, when he pretty much said, like, look, this is the lineup that we need to stick with for the moment being, I think that had everything to do with Marcus Smart, because obviously we know what he does defensively, but offensively, I mean, this guy used to be a turnover machine. You remember those first couple of years, we were like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, Rondo left, he's the replacement, he's that guy, and then he averaged like 5 turnovers a game. Okay, maybe Marcus Smart is not a point guard. Maybe we couldn't.
A month and a half later, they trade for Isaiah.
We can't force him to be a point guard. He's a classic combo guard.
Yeah, he's just a guard.
Let's just have him be a guard who can obviously defend at a high level, best on-ball defender alongside Avery Bradley, of course, at that time, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens, you know, from there. After he gets his big contract, now he's a playmaker. Now he's finding guys. Now he's making things easier, making life easier for Kyrie Irving. Yeah. And Marcus Morris is also getting open shots all day and tomorrow.
That, and he's like defending like 3s, 4s, and 5s as well.
Well, he's always done that. That's why he's so valuable.
He played the 5 last week.
Yeah, like
Brad Stevens was like, it's official. Yeah, he's played all 5 positions.
Every position.
Yeah.
Wait, he guarded.
He's guarded 5, but he didn't actually play the 5.
Right.
Okay.
And he didn't say like, Smart, you're playing the 5.
Right.
And if Brad Stevens needs that extra offensive, muscle, he's been doing the 3-guard lineup now. You had that flexibility with him.
Yeah.
You can plug in Terry Rozier alongside both of those guys and see where that gets you. And that's when you get open looks.
We saw that against the Wizards.
For Rozier and for Irving.
Yeah, we saw it against the Wizards. Remember, at one point in that fourth quarter, the back and forth, you had Smart, Rozier, Irving,
Kyrie, yep,
Morris, and I forget who the 5th guy was.
I think it was Tatum.
Might have been Tatum.
Yeah, I think it was Tatum. Yeah.
And Smart was guarding the other Morris. So, like, you can play around your lineups. So there's
gives you that flexibility.
There's a silver lining when some guys are out, because when then Brad's like, all right, I can switch some shit around that we normally we don't run. You could practice and run different offenses during workouts and shoot around, but in a game, that's probably like their best time to do things like that.
And you know who's just as flexible in the front court? Marcus Morris.
Oh, yeah.
Marcus Morris can guard you down low, guard the big down low. He can take a guy like Durant or LeBron at the perimeter. I mean, that's how flexible he is. So he gets caught in the switch, he's okay.
And he's rebounding too, which is great.
Yeah, and I think it goes to show, like, those two guys play a role on this team, like that is much needed. You want to talk about scoring? Fine. Tatum and Kyrie can score the ball at will. You know what I mean? But, like, there's something to be said about having role players in your starting lineup and having role players on your team that are playing 25 to 30 minutes a night. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of a guy that's, struggling to find his role, like a Hayward or a Brown, like that's huge. Yeah. That's absolutely huge, especially when you have a top 10 NBA player in Kyrie Irving and a potential top 20 NBA player in Jason Tatum.
We got more of the Causeway Street Podcast coming right up, but I want to take the time to talk to you about Hims. 4hims.com is your one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Did you know that 66% of men lose their hair by age 35? And if you didn't know that, well, now you do know that, and you can correct it right now. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. No waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits, and it saves you hours just by going to 4hims.com. Right now, our listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost you hundreds if you went to a doctor or a pharmacy, but if you go to 4hims.com/street, that's FORHIMS.com/street, 4hims.com/street will get you a $5 trial month, and you could try it out for yourself and find out if you like it. That's 4hims.com/street. Try it out today, 4hims.com. All right, let's get back to this podcast.
Well, look at the Pistons game, right? The first game that I've seen all season where Morris just wasn't feeling it. Okay, he played 30-plus minutes.
Smart played well that game, though.
Who?
Smart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Smart steps up and he's like, all right, we're not scoring. I'm going to take it upon myself.
Yep.
Hit a few threes. I think he was like 4 or 6 from behind the arc.
For everybody out there that was like, oh, don't side Marcus Smart. You're overpaying for Marcus Smart. Hey, guess what? Marcus Smart is worth every penny. I told you.
Well,
I've been
the good
trying to tell you.
Yeah. The good thing about Smart, though, he's not overpaid.
No, perfectly paid.
He's perfectly paid, which is a rare thing to find in today's NBA.
No, I mean, I think Marcus Smart has been the key to the turnaround. It's very easy to look at Marcus Morris because he put out the points, but we said, I think I am even on record in saying that new contract Marcus Smart wasn't playing that well, but I'll give him a pass for the first couple months of the season. He's the heart and soul of this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's contagious when a lot of guys are not playing well, and some guys are like, I'm going to take it upon myself. I'm going to bring this team back, and then it's like, no,
that's exactly what was happening.
You got to it was a lot of hero ball, a lot of I'm going to just come down the court and chuck a shot with 20 seconds left on the shot. Like, no, like
it's like
play as a team.
I call it pick up game mentality.
Yeah,
it's like, everyone just do your own thing and no continuity whatsoever.
Exactly.
I will say that I think the Celtics definitely missed Al Horford in that Pistons game, though.
Oh yeah, that was evident, big time. I mean,
he always puts up a big game there. And obviously, you're playing against Andre Drummond.
Yeah, Robert Williams was only able to do so much.
Yeah,
he's had a good little stretch.
Robert Williams is like a 5-minute stretch and take him out the game type guy. You not want to rely on Robert Williams.
Yeah.
He's there to spell Al Horford. I think that could be one of the reasons why the Celtics go on a little bit of more of a, don't pick right back up where they left off with the winning streak. Is Al Horford?
Plus Baines
he's out until New Year's.
Baines is.
Baines not 100%.
Yeah, he's not 100%.
He's not 100% either.
No, yeah, and Gershon's out for who knows how long.
And then you're looking at the. So, I mean, we're not looking ahead yet, but we'll look ahead to look ahead. I mean,
looking ahead of.
All right, let's do it. Let's get right into it. Well, why don't we just break down these games?
You're just like, all right. I mean, I wasn't suggesting we look ahead.
I wasn't trying to say let's look ahead, but let's look ahead.
Got 2 marquee matchups coming up, so let's talk about it.
So this is why I want to talk about Al Horford real quick.
Time to talk about it.
We got 2 marquee matchups coming up.
There's an elefante in the room,
and I want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
There's an elefante in the room. I want to talk about it.
No,
literally,
Putra. No.
Literally, no one likes that skit as much as we like that.
No, that's true. It's very true.
More than half the people don't even know what we're talking about. Oh.
It's Key and Peele slap ass. Slap ass is slap ass.
I'm from the Dominican Republic, okay? All I know since I was a little kid is to catch fly balls and to say slap ass every single time. Slap ass!
Hit up YouTube on that one.
And if you don't watch Key and Peele,
you can just get the hell out.
You know what you can go do, right?
You go shut the front door. All right. So this is why I'm a little worried. This is why I'm a little worried about Al Horford and the Celtics going forward to end the year. Because Al's out until the new year?
No, we don't know that. We'll talk about it in case you missed it.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
In case you missed it. Well, Celtics play the Suns
tonight.
When the feeling's all right.
I just wanna use your love.
All right, when do we start doing this? Like this singing thing that we do every time we do. Every time we look ahead, it's just it's a tune.
I don't know if you've been on.
I was just trying to kill some time while he was looking up the schedule.
Podcast, but I've sang probably every other episode.
But it's always here. It's got like a 80s. It's got like an 80s feel to it.
Yo, the disco ball's down, man. I'm feeling it, man.
Tonight
is the night that we play the Suns.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, who we got?
And we'll see you next week, folks.
It's time. No, I'm just kidding. Tim Tunis, you're probably listening right now. You're probably happy you heard your name, and the Celtics going to stomp on the Suns.
It's payback time.
Payback time.
For that almost loss.
No, he
for threatening to beat the Celtics.
He was
How
freaking
dare
out.
you start to beat the Celtics?
They're gonna
freaking the fuck out when he read
blow him out.
that the Suns might move out of Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
he's very scared.
Bro, you don't live in Phoenix. It's okay.
You've never lived in Phoenix.
You've never been to a game in Phoenix.
You've never been to a game in Phoenix. Literally, if the Suns move to, I don't know,
Maine?
No, let's just say St. Louis. It
still
wouldn't
wouldn't
mean shit to you. Like, it literally wouldn't mean shit to you.
He sends out a press release and he goes, I don't know what I would do with myself. And I said, you'd still root for the Suns.
Nothing would change.
You get up in the morning and you drive to Waltham and continue living in Quincy. Like you're not getting cut off of going to games anymore or anything. Like, you don't watch them.
But you know what though?
You don't have to stay up late anymore.
I know. If it was St. Louis, you're like, hey, that's Central Time,
right,
baby.
We're talking about like
That's true.
9:30 games instead of 10:30 games.
Yeah, but it's not like it's for us. Like let's say if obviously this never happened, but if the Celtics were to leave Boston, like that changes everything. Like we can't go to the games anymore. We can't cover it from
That'd be the end of the podcast right there.
Can't call it Causeway Street anymore. Have to call it something else.
We'd like try to switch to Bruins talk. We'd be like, Chara. And Tuca, what's up with Tuca, huh?
Yo, how about that Disney on Ice, huh, guys?
Oh,
Coming into the Garden.
The Legends Way, huh? Causeway Street Podcast coming at you every day with a fresh take.
The Globetrotters are in town out here.
Oh! Here's what a Suns fan from Massachusetts has to worry about. Is if they move to Seattle and then are called, like, the Seattle Salmon or something like that.
or like the Sonics again. They just use that name again.
Is that the fish they throw around all the time?
Just like Charlotte did with the Bobcats, turned back to the Hornets.
I mean,
not back to the Hornets, but they just took the Hornets name.
But the fact that the
like all the records would be about the Phoenix Suns.
The Hornets don't move to Charlotte.
No. The Hornets moved to New Orleans and then became the Pelicans.
Oh yes, you're right.
So all the records from the old Hornets are Pelican records. And the Bobcats became a new franchise in Charlotte, and then they changed their name to the Hornets. So they're a relatively new franchise, even though they're the Hornets.
So
Muggsy Bogues is a Pelican legend.
Is a Pelican legend.
he's not a Hornets legend.
Just like Sean Kemp is a Thunder's legend.
Yes,
not a Sonics legend.
Yeah.
So Kevin Johnson
would be a
Sonics legend.
Yeah, if they were to go to Seattle and become the Sonics. Yeah.
No.
The Suns.
No.
If they went to Seattle, they would definitely go back to being the Sonics.
They'd be the Sonics.
Yeah.
No, Seattle Suns would work.
No, but those guys love the Sonics.
They hate
man.
each other though. They hate each other. They can't go. They can't switch
More
names. You can't. The Seattle can't claim the Phoenix franchise.
It's their.
That was like
it's their city. They're the host.
But that was like a no.
All right, okay, so forget them going to Seattle. What if they went to like Las Vegas?
I know
They
people.
went to Las Vegas and
so Kevin Johnson would be like the Las Vegas whatever.
Las Vegas fucking blackjack tables.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Tim, nothing would change for Tim.
Yeah.
It would literally be West Coast time.
That's the whole point. We just did a whole,
moves over one city.
We just made a,
no, but
whole
if
big
they
U-turn
do,
to go back to
change
back.
From the Suns, and then
I was gonna say, there's people in Seattle that still rock Sonics gear.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And they're waiting for that franchise.
Yeah.
For a franchise to come back.
Seattle needs to go.
I mean,
back.
the NHL.
Seattle needs a franchise.
Well, the
I agree.
NHL went. Now they have
What's the
a
name?
new franchise.
Would you hear the name?
I don't know. Oh, you know the name? I don't know the name.
No,
Sonics?
he doesn't. Fuck you. He doesn't know. No, he's gonna make something up.
No.
What about when the Kings are about to leave?
He's
right?
He's trying.
No.
The Kings are always saying they're going to leave,
Seattle
but
used to have a hockey team
Because that was the closest they came to getting a team. Sacramento's going to move to Seattle.
yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I think the owners of the Kings live in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not the same brothers, right?
Yeah,
No, they sold it
I
years
think-
ago.
did they?
Yeah, they sold it.
It's the Metropolitans.
So the Seattle Metropolitans,
That's what they're going back to. The Metropolitans.
Isn't that the Mets?
not the
Yeah. Seattle Mets, pretty much.
It's the fucking.
No,
It's the fucking Mets.
They used to have a hockey team.
Why
in
would you?
Seattle. They used to have a
What?
hockey team in Seattle called the Metropolitans.
It's the fucking Mets.
They used to have a hockey team there called the Metropolitans.
What's the Vegas?
70s.
What's the Vegas team called?
The Knights? The Golden
Knights.
Knights.
Yeah, it's a little.
By the way, they made the
Sounds like a
fucking
sketchy
Western
strip club.
Conference Finals.
Yo, you hear?
No,
you
they
hear
made
about,
this. They made a
Do you hear
Stanley
about
Cup
this
Finals.
curse? You hear about this curse about the Knights? Every time a team goes to play in Las Vegas,
What
they
happens?
always fucking lose because they end up partying the night before.
That's crazy though. Their
They
very
always
first
party
season, they went to the Stanley Cup.
Well, that's a big thing. Like, think
Yeah.
about like a 25-something-year-old hockey player. He's like, I'm in Vegas for a couple nights.
Yeah, like every team.
Yo,
that
Game
goes-
7's tomorrow. That will be
Blacking
alright.
out.
Like, every team that goes to play against the Knights, they not only do they lose, but they just it's always like it's like
Yeah,
a big
but
loss.
you know what that is, though. That means they were doing it all year long. So they're like, why shake things up now? They probably built a certain comfort level, and they're like, no, we have to party because that's how we got the last win.
No. I'm not talking about the local team. The away team loses, and it always comes out that they were partying, and that's why they lost.
Gotcha.
yeah. The away team every team
That's
that
funny.
comes to visit against the Golden, is that the Golden Knights? Okay, every time they play
That
against
sounds so weird,
the
but yeah.
Vegas Knights, they lose. And more reason than that is because they were shit faced.
I'm thinking of like the Golden Banana.
That's a strip club, Sway.
Come on, you listeners know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, why does that sound like a strip club? And now it hit me. I'm like, that's why. Then thinking of the Golden Banana. I'm like, why does that sound like such a strip club? Every time you say it, I'm just like picturing like
I hear the Golden Knights.
Route 1.
I think of like showgirls, like dancing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
On the strip somewhere.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know what?
Golden Banana in Saugus?
Yeah, that's what.
No, every time he says Golden Knights, I'm like, why does that sound like a strip club? Then it hit me. I'm like, oh, because fucking the Golden Banana. But no, I was thinking that it was the home team. But you know what? I guarantee you, I guarantee you, that's the home team. That's the organization, like that's putting it on them. That's like the NBA. Like they're sending shit to their like hotel rooms and like, here, go out.
That's like the NBA's biggest fear to like set up a franchise there in Vegas.
Oh, you kidding me? They go nuts.
And like everyone's just like, we're in Vegas.
It's just the first year. This year the Knights suck because their team sucks.
LeBron gets.
Everyone's like, yo, I'm not doing the same thing I did back in Vegas last year.
Steph Curry gets caught with like a hooker in fucking hotel room. Imagine, and the whole NBA would be like, fuck. You were the good guy, man. What are you doing? Kyrie Irving is found with like 4 white girls on TMZ. Just like
his press conference is
partying.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, NBA players in Vegas probably not a good idea.
Sorely apologize to my wife.
Aisha's right next to him crying.
Oh my God! To my family.
Kobe's just in behind.
I am only guilty. I am only guilty of adultery.
They pan to Kobe. He's like mouthing what he's saying because he wrote it for him.
Kind of, he has that confused look on his face, like this is my exact fucking speech right now. What the fuck? Who did this?
Aisha's just cooking. You know what? She deserves it though.
No, I knew it. I forgot you don't like Aisha. Man. I forgot about that.
Yo, Steph needs to lead that girl, man.
Oh man, dude, he just had another kid with her.
Let's go party in Vegas.
It's not happening, man.
Hey, it's all right, man. It's all right.
It's not happening.
She's probably taking half his money already.
You ever heard the term? It's cheaper to keep her. Steph lives that. All right, so who we got after the Suns? After
Jesus.
Tim is just like,
and now
it's fucked up, guys.
Not one Suns player was mentioned throughout that whole thing. They didn't even. Not that it's worth it, I guess, but
will the Celtics lose?
I think it's funny.
No, and no one's dropping 70 either. Fuck that.
And no Al Horford and no Jaylen Brown.
All right. After Las Vegas, slot machines coming to Boston. The Celtics will.
The Talking Stick Resort comes to Boston.
After the Wynn Resort Casino.
Slot machines.
After Carrot Top's and no, the owner of the Suns will be Carrot Top and Celine Dion, bro. And maybe one of the tiger that killed those 2 dudes.
Oh shit.
That's just like still roaming the streets of Vegas, I'm sure.
I'm a fucking tiger.
I'm a fucking tiger. You can't tame me. Fucking, I've been acting nice for 10 years. I'm gonna eat you now. Penn and Teller. Wasn't even Penn and Teller. Who the fuck was those dudes' names?
Okay, it was Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy. Fucking scared of tigers now. Can't even go to the zoo. Anyways, Siegfried and Roy, R.I.P. motherfuckers. Hope you're in tiger hell right now.
Who the fuck are they playing next, Sean?
I hope the
Jesus.
Tigers, I hope in hell Tigers tame Siegfried and Roy. Anyways, the Celtics are playing the Bucks. This is a 4-game homestand, by the way, fellas. Why are you so mad right now?
You spent 20 minutes on this fucking Suns Las Vegas shit. Fuck.
I'm sensing a little aggression right now.
A little bit of anger coming over.
What's going on right now? Huh?
You're not following your plan here?
Bucks win.
Bucks Friday night. 12-21.
Is that an ESPN game? No.
At the Garden. Send the Celtics beat the Bucks?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes or no?
They beat them.
Yes.
All right. Well, okay. So, remember when the Celtics were floundering? That Hornets loss, I think, was the worst loss of that entire streak. Arguably. Did they lose to the Hawks, too?
No, I think the Knicks.
No.
The Knicks
at
No.
home was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was like the
That was the worst one.
talking point of the season. But no, the Hawks, no.
The Hornets one
killed
was
the
tough,
Hawks.
though. The Hornets one was tough.
It was.
That was when
It
Kemba
was
went
because
off,
Kemba went off.
but they couldn't beat him. So
Kyrie tried to put the team on his back. It didn't work out. Yeah.
Sunday early evening game, the Hornets come to town. Kemba Walker tries to bring his, UConn roots back into the Garden, but he hasn't played well in the Garden when he's come here. He plays well down there, not down there.
Yeah.
Plus, he's not looking like the same player he was the first few weeks of the season when he was leading the league in scoring.
Michael Jordan smacking players around. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know.
Yeah, Michael Jordan
normal stuff.
also going out to the club with his players and just fucking doing the Bernie and with a cigar.
He was doing that. What was that song? What's that song? The
wobble with it, wobble with it, wobble with it.
Mike's like, put the goddamn camera away. Get that shit out of my face.
It's like, yo, I'm trying to fucking mack it on this 24-year-old chick over here who looks 14. Not gonna lie. You see that video?
He's like, yo, guys, keep it cool, please. Come on.
I used to do way worse, but now I was your age.
Yeah, if I'm out there partying with MJ,
I'm trying to party with you guys.
Never gonna record it. I'm putting that shit putting that phone in my pocket.
Not Snapchat,
Chilling.
chatting.
I'm trying to like have you guys relax so you guys could play better, and you want to fucking pull out cameras. Come on, what the fuck? Put the goddamn camera.
Trying
away.
to show you a better life.
Put the camera away and hit this.
Yeah.
He's trying to get his wobble on, man.
He's trying to get his wobble on. He's trying to, mack it with a couple of hoes. Like, is MJ married right now?
No.
No.
Okay. So
No.
He's doing his thing.
He's been divorced for a few years now.
Yeah,
Right?
he never remarried after he got divorced.
No, he's with. He's with.
He's got a girlfriend, right?
with a
Yeah,
chick,
he's with a famous chick actually. Yeah. She's pretty dope actually.
Oprah.
No.
Yes.
That's the match made in heaven right there.
So the Hornets, huh? After the Hornets.
Yeah, let's get back on track here.
all because we're talking about Mike.
It's gonna be
Like
weird,
Mike.
It's gonna be a weird part of the episode you guys listen to.
Want to be like Mike.
Anyways,
Sometimes I dream.
dream of me. All right, focus. Get to in case you missed it. The Celtics play. We're not going to talk to you until after Christmas. Celtics play the 76ers on Christmas. The marquee matchup. Jimmy Butler now on the Celtics.
Hey,
on
whoa.
76ers. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Joel Embiid is back. He's
balling.
averaging damn near 30 points, pulling down like 15 rebounds.
Well, they went through a little tiffy there.
MVP numbers, huh?
Well, after Jimmy Butler missed those 2 games, yeah, but I just think this team's going to be really tough, man. I don't know. I think Celtics might catch an L here, but
I
it'll
still
be a really
think
good
they're the
game.
best team in the Eastern Conference.
Philly?
Yeah.
Over Toronto? I don't know about that.
It's false, but okay.
You guys are idiots, but
How? Why do you say that?
Philly's a better team than Toronto.
Philly has no bench,
Don't matter.
and they don't
get a
shoot
bench.
well.
You can manage
Their
a bench.
best shooter is Joel Embiid.
You can manage a bench, and their best shooter is JJ Redick. So
So,
JJ, he's
I win.
no.
can't believe you're sleeping on Toronto like that, man.
No, I'm sleeping on Toronto because of
They're arguably the best player in the East.
Not only that, but again, they're like
After Giannis,
they're
actually.
8-2 without Kawhi, so it's not like Kawhi needs to be there for them to be a good team.
Exactly.
Speaking of a bench, Milwaukee has a really good bench, too. That should be a good game. They actually lead the league in scoring.
All right, Suns, Bucks, Hornets, 76ers. What's the rec?
3-1. That's a strong 3-1 against those teams.
Undefeated. We all know the Hornets like to party.
They would see another streak.
Jimmy Butler
Oprah.
Jimmy Butler ain't ready to play in the Garden.
Oh, Jimmy Butler's not ready to play at the
Not ready to play at the Garden.
Not ready to play at the Garden.
He ain't about that
He
life.
ain't about that life.
He ain't about that life.
He's about that cash, that L.
Now, wait. Jimmy
And not
Butler
the good
in the
L.
Garden with the Bulls in 2000 and against Isaiah Thomas, whatever year that was.
He was better at home than he was at the Garden.
Interesting you say that.
He hasn't played at the Garden in quite some time.
He hasn't played since that series.
Since that series, I think you're right.
You know, we talk about Jaylen Brown and his up and down season. You want to carve out a role? You want to make a name for yourself? Shut down Jimmy Butler on Christmas Day.
Marcus Smart's got that. He's fine.
That's
We don't
smart.
need Jaylen Brown for that.
That's smart all day.
Another reason
I love
why
me some
you don't
love me some
need
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown.
I love me some Jaylen Brown, but that's
obviously
that's smart.
Marcus
That's
Smart. Well, no, Marcus Smart's going to be the starter, but
I got you.
I want to see some. I want to see a line of just stops after stops after stops.
No,
and
you know
Jaylen
what?
Brown
You know what I
comes
want to
in.
see? I want to see Gordon Hayward play a little bit of D on.
I don't want to see that. I'm all set with that.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it either.
I'm going to be honest. Jaylen Brown is literally like the 8th or 9th guy off the bench right now. And he's averaged, 2 points over the last 4 games comparatively to what Joel was trying to say he averaged off the bench.
He averaged 21 in that 3 games.
Up to that point, when we recorded the podcast.
No,
he was
no 3 games. He averaged
averaging
21
then,
points.
Then once Jackie McMullen came out, you missed a game.
Well, what did I
you
say last
scored.
week? What did I say?
2 points.
After this article comes out, the pressure's going to be on, and we're going to see what he's made of.
And he's not made of shit.
Well,
Like,
I
I've been
mean,
trying to tell
since
you
then the
guys.
Celtics are 1-1. All right.
Well, I'm not saying that this is going to be the end-all, be-all, but obviously,
They're 2-1.
obviously his own quote and the story is in his head.
Since the piece,
Yep,
I think it's in his head.
they're 2-1.
the
He
piece,
missed- he
the
missed
piece.
the
When
game.
did the piece come out? Oh, before the Washington game. Okay.
Yeah, the 2-1.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the lineup. I'm just saying, him in the lineup, 1-1.
You know what else I noticed?
5-0 without him in the line.
You know what else I noticed? Whatever happened to the whole Tatum and Jaylen Brown being like best buds? Remember that last season?
Yo, I really feel like there's something up with Jalen. Like, he's not meshing with this team at all. Like, I think there's a lot. I said I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, you said you weren't going to do that, man.
I just want to throw that out there because you guys do remember that, right? What was it, 7-Eleven? That was the stupid nickname for those
Best
two?
buds,
Well,
yeah.
before, yeah.
They were they were roommates on the road, and they were
Tatum,
always
yeah, before Tatum.
best buds. When has either one of them
0.
mentioned each other throughout this entire season?
Yeah. Tatum doesn't really mention a lot of people, though.
Yeah, I know, but you
Tatum
remember
does
you remember
his own-
how much they were like gushing over each other? They'd be like next to each other.
No, I know,
They'd be
but
like,
they were like in the lineup
fucking
constantly.
slap asses and shit.
They were it's
They
not
were
bad.
the two, though.
They were
They
together
were the two
though.
guys.
They were the two
two
guys.
dudes.
So
When
what
Kyrie
happened?
went
But
down-
they barely play together now.
Yeah, but what happened to the friendship?
I don't
They-
know.
I don't know. Maybe
Don't know.
Jaylen Brown fucking started reading too many fucking stupid books.
They used to.
Tatum was like, "Hey man, you want to get a bite to eat?" He's like, "Well, I'm not gonna go eat because no one understands how eating works in the mind of whatever I'm reading right now." Idiot.
All right, what else we missed?
Anyways,
Joel.
Wait,
It's about that time,
wait,
Joe. What
well,
you got? In case you missed
Well,
it.
the first thing we missed. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your prediction?
You're gonna say 4-0, man. Hurry up.
No, I'm gonna go 1-4.
What? You're gonna lose all 4 games?
All 4.
You would call for an emergency podcast if they drop a game against the Sun.
If
Yeah,
they, yeah, no, I'll say 2-2. I'm gonna be real, 2-2.
Okay.
2-2. I told you last
Is the
time.
Suns one of the
The
losses?
last time that I said I was going to be 4-0, I said, well, wait, no, whatever the fuck I predicted. Well, maybe I predicted it right. Yeah.
That was the winning streak.
What's up,
You
everybody?
just said
That was the tail end of the winning
streak.
streak.
The Celtics just need to go on like a 6-7 game winning streak, and they did. All
They
right.
went on an 8-game winning streak. So I'm cool with it. I think you're going to see some struggles now because I do think that there is a problem with all the cooks in the kitchen. Still, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, and no one
such
wants
thing.
burnt.
We got to
No.
make a meme for that.
And everyone
Bunch of
forgot
cooks.
about the soup.
What
There's
is,
going to be some burnt tomato soup you trying to put on in front of everybody.
what is this voice you do?
Burnt tomato soup.
What happened? What
Burnt
happened to
tomato
the catfish? It's been in the oven for hours. Too many cooks in this goddamn kitchen.
Where's Markel when you need him?
This is going to be one of the weirdest Causeway Street episodes of all
Yeah,
time.
seriously.
But we're good.
I think a lot of this is going to go on the after show.
If
Yeah.
you're still with us, what up?
We appreciate you. God bless. So, in case you missed it, Al Horford not gonna play against the Suns. Brad Stevens announced, and he didn't practice as well. So, still
Who?
unknown.
Who?
Al Horford. Still unknown when he will return.
I've heard after New Year's.
Well, which wouldn't be the worst thing because it's only week and a half away.
But you know what that means? When they say after New Year's at the end of a season, that means like sometime in 2019. That's what I'm worried about. It's like,
It's easier to say that than say like a month or two.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, hey, sometime after New Year's.
Well, it was the same. It was the same thing when he.
That could be anywhere from January 1st.
Yeah,
to
no. When they originally.
till June 25th.
Yeah, when they originally announced that
Game
he was
7 of the
gonna be
NBA
out,
Finals?
they said he's going to miss a few games. A few games could be 3 games. A
Why
few
is he
games
out,
could
by the
be
way? Why is
8,
he
9
out?
games.
Back?
He's got
Tendonitis.
tendonitis in his left knee that he says that he's been playing through for the past month before
Mike.
he decided to shut him down. Well, not shutting him down, but
If
they
I-
did.
And don't get
guess-
too worried, but he's actually never dealt with this before, he said.
If I had to guess, he probably has a concussion.
No, man. I almost thought that Hayward had a concussion the other night when he went to the locker room after hitting his head on the. No, he got hit by somebody's elbow against the Hawks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but no, he
no.
he cut himself.
He got some.
he bit his tongue.
I hope Al's okay because
Yeah, he should
Al's
be
needed on this team.
Yeah, agreed.
Without Al, this team is going to be a 500 team.
Yeah. In case you missed it, Jabari Bird. In case y'all forgot who that guy is. Birdman.
Birdman Jr.
Was officially arraigned this week
Ooh.
on his domestic violence case.
He's a bad dude.
Are you just making this up, man?
No, I'm not making it up.
No, I know, but the way you're saying it, it's like you're just like off the top of your head.
Like, you guys like looked away, and I'm like, y'all just don't want to look at me while I'm saying this. But it's all good.
Go ahead and talk about Jabari Bird.
good.
We're having just a good time over here.
Just talk about domestic abuse.
The reason why I bring it up.
I'm going to take this opportunity to get on the record that I'm against domestic violence.
Okay, well, as you should be. As you should be. I think it's fair to say that all of us on this podcast are against that.
I would like Kareem Hunt on the Patriots, but that's a different story.
It's a completely different story. Well, anyways.
I don't condone when he did, but I like to see him in the Pats uniform.
But you know, playoffs are around the corner.
I think at some point some team's going to sign him. It might as well be the Patriots.
On that note, no. The reason why I bring it up is because he's still on the active roster. Obviously, he's been inactive this whole time, and every time you see him on the injury report, quote unquote, it's for personal reasons. So the NBA hasn't stepped in yet, and obviously the Celtics haven't talked about him at all.
What's the end game here?
It's
fucking Jabari Bird. Why do we care?
No, but I'm just saying the end game is if the Celtics and the NBA can void his contract, that's a free roster spot for someone that's going to get cut at some point from somewhere else.
He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid, yeah, because it was a guaranteed deal.
So Austin Rivers, guys?
Good thing you brought him up. But that segues into my next, in case you missed it, point. Tim must be so upset because Austin Rivers, who was a part of the Trevor Ariza trade from Washington to the Suns, got snip, cut.
Ooh, snip, snip.
Snip, snip.
Talk about a cut. Snip, snip.
Circumcision? What? What are you talking about?
Using no scissors. Snip, snip.
He got snipped.
He got snip.
Why is that news?
No, he got waived.
Why did he? Oh.
He got waived.
Neutered?
Yeah. No. He still has his testes. As far as I'm concerned.
He's got a helmet?
He's got a helmet. I don't know. That was up to Doc and Mrs. Rivers.
Well, I think if...
So what does Austin end up? Before you guys go into this whole diatribe about his groin.
If I had to guess.
Where's he going to end up? Where's Austin Rivers going to end up? He's no longer on the Suns, never joined the Suns. Suns cut him. The only potential point guard that they had, but according to Tim, Jamal Crawford is doing just fine as the backup point guard.
Jamal Crawford needs to go in the Celtics.
Had 14 assists the other night. You know, these are the texts that we received from Tim.
They need to cut him loose.
These are the text messages that we received from Mr. Tim, our resident Suns fan, on a nightly basis.
By the way, can we talk real quick about the trade first? The trade that wasn't a trade and was a trade.
Oh, you mean the Marshawn Brooks?
Yeah.
It was the 3-team trade between the Grizzlies, the Suns, and the Wizards.
Yeah.
So Trevor Ariza was supposed to go to the Wizards, which it eventually did happen. But before it did officially happen, the trade was called off because Memphis was supposed to send Dylan Brooks instead of Marshawn Brooks, and Phoenix misunderstood because they thought they were getting Dylan.
Which makes no sense because...
and they called the deal off.
The guy... Not even in the NBA right now. Like, how do you?
He's on their D League team. I think he's on a 2-way deal.
So he's not in the NBA right now.
No, right now no, but he's on a 2-way deal.
I really think.
And why did that hold up the deal? Why is that?
Suns were like
a deal breaker.
Wrong Brooks.
Yeah, and
Kelly Oubre was also involved in this.
Yeah, and like why
from the Wizards.
I just don't get.
I remember getting the notification, and like 20 minutes later they're like, nope, deal's off. Suns were bamboozled getting the wrong Brooks.
The deal was able to go through with the same players from the Suns and
then
the
like
Wizards.
24 hours later, they were like, all right, we're just going to just trade straight up with the Wizards. I think
because
the
you
Grizzlies
can't.
Were trying to
if you're Trevor, you're not going back to practice the next day. Like, hey guys, I'm still with you.
Yeah, they held him out of practice. They held him out of the game. Yeah, they did all that.
It's like fuck you guys.
They've been doing that.
So Ariza, who's on a 1-year deal, getting paid $50 million this year, goes back to the Wizards. And I guess the Wizards are trying to somehow salvage their season.
Trade him.
So is that a result of Kyrie Irving going off against them because they didn't have the
stopper,
someone defensively to contain him?
Because John Wall played so well.
John Wall, yeah,
defensively. I don't know.
Got his ass handed to him.
The Wizards should have never let Ariza walk, in my opinion. But then again, it's the Wizards.
They don't know how to. They tend to do things like this.
Yeah. So. That's that.
They're a playoff team, though, right?
Yeah, they're a playoff team.
They're not completely out of it, right?
You got like the bottom, like the 8, 9, and 10th seed. They're going to be battling out And they're under 500. As of the West,
They'll be one of those guys.
Like 14 teams can make the playoffs out of the 15 out there. Not the
it's
Suns.
crazy out there.
That's right, Tim. Not the Suns.
Or not the Las Vegas strippers.
You know what's gonna happen with Austin? He's gonna go back to his dad. Like it's just too obvious at this point.
No, I think
Doc is like, we're good.
if that was going to happen,
They don't need you.
if that was going to happen, that would already happen. He's getting tough.
Sorry, son. I saved you once.
Doc can't do it right away. Well, how's that gonna look for the organization?
No, he'll go to the Knicks.
I just love how Austin at the beginning of the season, remember he was talking
Knicks.
so much shit? Yeah, he probably will go to the Knicks.
Why?
Because the Knicks, that's what they do. They pick up guards.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
I love the reason for why
You think you suck?
Rivers
He
got cut
sucks.
too. Rivers, the Suns were like, oh, we think he's better suited for a contending team.
But see, that's
Versus
my thing.
a- versus a rebuilding team.
This goes back to my point, though. I feel like if he's saying that, that means he's got to have at least a team or two.
The Suns said that.
No, but if well,
He'll go to the Lakers.
do you think the report was a lie though? They said that both sides were like, you know what, we think it's best if we part ways because
Well, I mean, it's
to
Shred-
me
it's Shred's
that sounds like a
contract,
guy.
which is whatever.
Lakers.
No, I know, but to me, if his agent's saying that, that sounds like a guy who has playoff teams asking for him, and he's like, I'm not gonna play for the Suns if I can play in the playoffs and get more exposure.
What about Minnesota? They could use a guard, little point guard.
Nah, man, they got D Rose and they got T whenever he feels like playing because he's always in and out of the lineup. Who else?
Go back to the Clippers. Come
But
on.
the Clippers are fine though without him.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be
Yeah.
a game changer, but why not?
I love how Rivers at the beginning of the season was like, "Oh yeah, everyone's talking about the Celtics and the Raptors, and what about us? What about the Wizards? We can go head to head with any of those guys." Cut, traded, fuck out of here. So yeah, I don't think Rivers goes anywhere right now. He's chilling.
No, Doc's
Doc's like, I'm not saving you again, son.
Doc is not signing Austin. Austin will go to the shake it up Pelicans.
Yeah, I can see that actually. They always have injuries. Yeah,
He's going
Wasn't
back.
he on the Pelicans?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
going
yeah,
back.
I know, right? Yeah, when they were the Hornets. Yes, yes, that's true. That's true.
Or Orlando. They always can use a point guard. Why not?
No,
Orlando's like a 500 team
Rozier's
right now.
going
They're
there.
going to be battling for maybe that eighth seed, huh?
Terry Rozier will be in Orlando.
Well, yeah, this won't be a long-term commitment, Sean.
Yeah.
It's just going to be finish out the year, see how you do.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all I got for in case you missed it. Another slow week, but getting ready for Christmas, guys. Christmas.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, what's your favorite
Christmas.
Christmas movie?
You're asking, or you're just saying
I
that?
know, you're just saying. Oh, you're legit serious?
Yeah, sure.
Home Alone 2.
I feel about Home Alone too, man.
The rope is soaked in it.
It's the worst movie of all time.
What? It's not the worst movie of all time. Because it's a
not
little
realistic.
unrealistic. Doesn't mean
Literally the worst movie of all time.
oh, it's the best.
Shit's great, dude.
Come on, that final 40 minutes, half hour.
It's great, dude. It's great. You laughed your balls off. Don't act like you didn't.
Fucking guy gets a brick to the face.
Yeah, because I think I was high. Like I don't. That movie's not a good movie.
No Christmas movie is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Well,
there's
Christmas
a couple
Story is good,
ones.
but all right. I like
Christmas
that.
Story is a little bit overrated. I think that's a true story. I will say the Rudolph movie.
The Rudolph movie over the Christmas Story?
All right, Bad Santa.
He's never seen Bad Santa.
You never seen? But wow,
He's not a Bad Santa guy.
tried to watch.
And the thing about Bad Santa is if you missed it, you can't go back and watch it. It won't be as funny. It's one of those things where it's like you had to be in like
had to been there.
04, 05,
Yeah.
06 to truly enjoy it.
I think he still would like it though.
I mean, I've tried to watch it a couple times. The fat
Nah.
kid doesn't do nothing for me.
Well, it's not the fact yet. It's fucking Billy Bob. Yeah, he's
Bill Bob Thornton.
not a good Billy Bob guy. All right. Well,
I would say Christmas Vacation.
You have to watch that.
Christmas Vacation is way better than Christmas Story.
Yeah. Way better.
Way better.
That's
well,
pretty funny.
it's funnier, but Christmas Story is like it's a fucking staple.
Is that the best one?
Christmas
Is
Vacation.
that the best Griswold?
Yeah, definitely best Griswold.
That's the best
movie.
Griswold movie.
Well, how old were you the first time you saw Christmas Vacation?
No, I was older. I liked Christmas Story as a kid.
Okay,
That
that's what
was-
it is. That's what it is.
That was
it's
my
one of
favorite
those.
movies
Yeah,
as a kid.
as a kid, you're like,
You know what movie gets slept on? Muppet Christmas Carol, bro.
it's been a while since I've seen that one. But
No, that is a good ass
I
movie.
might have to revisit that.
That's about it.
That's
What
it. Right?
else we got?
Something else.
Yeah.
Well, the first Home Alone.
Do you count Die Hard? I don't.
Why do people count Die Hard as a fucking
It
Christmas
was
movie? That's
stupid,
so
that's why.
weird. I don't know.
No, I don't count it.
Yeah. To answer your question, not. So, Merry Christmas to everyone out there still listening, and Happy Hanukkah to those that celebrate as well.
Happy Kwanzaa too.
Kwanzaa.
And just in case, Happy fucking New Year, everybody.
Fuck yeah.
2018 has been a great year.
Hey, we still got one more. One more before the year ends.
You'll hear our New Year's
Don't worry,
resolutions.
listeners.
Our New Year's resolutions for our Boston Celtics coming at you next time on the Causeway Street Podcast. This is Sean Dutra, Joe Sway, and Joel signing off.
And remember, reach for the stars.
Santa's watching.
Hello, I'm Dan Lothian, host of the Behind the Media podcast on the CLNS Media Network. Along with Jimmy Young, we dive into the biggest media headlines each week with honest, informed, and sometimes irreverent perspectives. It's not all serious. We deliver information and entertainment. As we like to say on Behind the Media, we find the interesting in media so you don't have to go searching for it. Listen to our podcast and get prepped for the next trip to the water cooler. Subscribe to Behind the Media wherever you get your podcast, or find us on www.clnsmedia.com.